Hey, today we are biting off a little piece of history in Deadwood at the historic Bullock Hotel with Matt. You're the assistant manager and you also give the tours here. So right now we are in the basement, the lowest level, Seth's cellar as you call it. So let's just start here. Talk about what this place entails.
This place entails, there is a lot of history here in the building. I mean, this building we stand under right now has been here since 1895. The other building has been here since 1879.
Wow.
It's one of the original buildings here in town that survived the big fire. Seth's cellar, where we're standing at right now, back at first of the year we decided we needed to give this thing a nice makeover. It's time for a do-over. And so we put up some beautiful tapestries, got the bar back up and running, and so we've got it up 7 days a week. We are a functioning hotel. A lot of folks don't know that, believe it or not. We have 2 floors upstairs. We have 28 rooms, 14 per floor. We have a functioning casino. We have a bar in the back on the main level combined with the one down here. So there's a lot going on.
When you give your tours, I guess sort of what are you highlighting for folks?
We do a 50-50 mix. We do a 50% historical, 50% haunted, because you really can't understand the haunting part of it unless you understand the history behind it. So here in Deadwood, he showed up right about the same time that Wild Bill was shot, first week of August of 1876, okay? Started selling hardware right out of the tent right up here on the corner. Now, a lot of folks were chasing gold. Him and his buddy Soul Star, they weren't chasing gold. They were down here to sell the equipment to the miners who were. So after a couple of good years, they built the warehouse in 1879. That survived the fire of 79 and 94. The hardware store burned in 94. And then they built the hotel. It has his name because he's the one that started it all. The Bullock Hotel is haunted. We have enough evidence, both empirically and from photograph, that show that there are spirits here. So some people believe that Seth did pass away here. That is not correct. He actually died at his house over on Van Buren Street, right next to the Adams house. But his spirit still runs the halls here, okay? We've had there's been many documented sightings of old Seth. Usually he likes to show up, especially in the early days during the construction. He would like to show up when folks are just hanging around, kind of not where they should be, not doing any work. Usually he'll make an appearance at that point.
Okay.
He was the stabilizing force in the early years, okay? In the early years of Deadwood was rough and tumble. If you had an argument with somebody, usually you took it outside. If the fist didn't work, then you'd draw. Okay, that's just the way it was. Well, after several months of this, the city powers decided we needed somebody that actually had some law enforcement experience, and it happened to be with Seth right here on Main Street. He was a perfect fit. He was good friends with Teddy Roosevelt. Through his friendship with Tower, he was very instrumental. A lot of the parks that we have around here, Wind Cave, Crystal Cave, the Black Hills National Forest, are because of Seth's influence with Teddy. There is definitely an energy to the building. Well, there's an energy to the entire Black Hills, in Deadwood specifically, but there is definitely something here. You can feel it as soon as you start, especially when you go on the tour, because we show you all the places where Martha had her room, where Seth had his room. We tell you some of the different stories. We tell you some of the stories about the building before it was even there.
So you talked about casino and hotels. Is there like food?
Actually, yes. We serve breakfast 7 days a week, starting at 7 a.m., runs till 11 o'clock. We give the restaurant staff about a half an hour to make the switch to lunch. And then we run lunch 11 to 3, 7 days a week. Starting next week, we're going to push that to 10 o'clock Thursday through Sunday.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to have dinner service finally back.
And then is there a place where folks can sit and eat?
Absolutely. For breakfast and lunch, we keep you back in Bully's restaurant on the top floor at the back of the building. For dinner service, we expand it. So if you want to have dinner up in Bully's restaurant, that's cool. If you want to have it down here in Seth's cellar, that's fine too. Thursday nights we do jam night from 7 to 9, and then on Friday and Saturday night we bring in local musicians to play. Some of them are really good. Our current gift shop was actually taken over by Jenny Wolf. She used to be up at Cheyenne Crossing, but she moved down here back in October. That's her art studio. That's where she has all of her stuff set up.
Oh, okay.
So she's really good. Has a lot of good stuff up there. If people are interested in more information, they can either check out the historicbullock.com website, or if they wanted to give us a phone call, 605-578-1745, or just stop on in, say hi to anybody sitting at the front desk, just ask some questions.